If you feel like quitting, watch this video. But let me get deeper into why you need to watch this video. Because I see a lot of people on the internet that come on here talking about how quitting is all these negative things and things like that and put a negative connotation on it. But sometimes quitting could be positive on certain aspects of life. You know, maybe you quit on somebody that, you know, was a partner to you, you know, in a relationship, and they just kept doing you wrong, so you quit on them in that aspect. Or there's many things you could quit on. It's certain times that stuff you need to quit and let go of, you know. And I feel like a lot of people are out here kind of preaching the wrong thing of don't quit. You know, it's certain things that you need to quit on at certain moments, and certain things, you know, that you was doing that maybe you'll be better at doing something else. You know, maybe it's time to quit. Maybe it's time to do something else type. So with all that being said, get your popcorn ready. We're going to get deeper into the video. And if you're new to the channel, watch the full video first. And then if you like the video, man, subscribe to me. If you don't, I appreciate the time for keeping you, for you staying that long and me keeping you for however long this video is going to be. But with all that being said, let's get straight into the video, man. All right, well, so this is not going to be your typical motivational video that you think you're going to get, you know, when it comes to quitting and things like that. But I think at certain moments, certain things need to be quitted. And one way and one thing how this affected my life is YouTube, in a sense, right? So I know I really like YouTube. I know I really like enjoying YouTube and things like that. And I have a clothing brand too. If y'all don't know, I talk about that almost every video. So my YouTube, my clothing brand, you know what I'm saying? Those two things I really enjoy and passionate about, you know. And then I had a job I had like a month ago. Yeah, about a month ago. And, you know, I was there and it was just taking up a lot of my time. And, you know, a lot of people, some people can double task. I'm not really too good at double tasking. And I knew I wanted to put 110% in everything that I was passionate in doing. So boom, boom, right? Boom, I start doing that. I start working, right? But what I realized is that the time I was spending was taken away from the videos that I was making here. You know, it was draining me of my energy. You know, not saying the job was nothing too crazy, but that's just what I went through. You know what I'm saying? And I have to be honest with myself, you know. So when I started going through that, I was like, man, it's time to quit the job. It's time to really go crazy on what I really wanted to do, right? And that's kind of what I kind of want to tell y'all, is that sometimes it's okay to quit. You know, even if some people say you take the coward way out sometimes, you know, even me personally, I don't think that's a coward way out. I think that's just choosing the best thing for yourself at that moment. But some people may say that, but sometimes it's good to quit at certain aspects. But also with that, there's a little bit of, y'all going to say I kind of contradict myself, but it's also not okay to quit in certain aspects like this. If I was to do that, right, say I quit my job, well, I did quit my job, but I quit my job and now I'm doing YouTube now. And out of nowhere, I just said, man, you know what? And 20 days of me grinding on YouTube, I haven't made no progress for real. I only got like 4 more subscribers. I probably got 200 views in total throughout the whole 20 days. You know what I'm saying? And I just quit off that. That's not respectable, and that's not how you should go about things, you know. But when you get to that point where you start seeing, you know, you're not making the moves or strides that you want to make, what you had to do is you had to look at what you was doing, and you had to times that at least 2 times and really just study what you're trying to get into. And, you know, I talk about this a lot of times in my videos, but a lot of times, you know, people say don't get down on yourself, don't do this, you know, all this stuff. But I think it can be a positive thing if you get down on yourself. Because if you get down on yourself, number one, that's showing passion. But only thing with it is that people get down on themselves and they do nothing with it. When you get down on yourself, you have to look at it as this. Okay, boom, I'm down on myself, you know, I haven't been making the strides I want to make and whatever I'm trying to do. Let's say it's YouTube, you know, because that's what I do. Say I haven't been making the views. Okay, what can I do to the thumbnails to make them more engaging? What can I do to the titles to make them more engaging? What can I do with my upload schedule to make that more consistent? Like, it's stuff you can do, and you're really just going to have to study the game and really just apply that to your daily life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, you know, you may hear people say, don't get down on yourself, don't get down on yourself, don't get down on yourself. But it's all about how you react to it. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I get down on myself, but when I get down on myself, it's because I know I didn't put my 110% into something that I wanted to do. And, you know, obviously I didn't get the results on it. So now I know what I have to do the next time. And, you know, I study whatever I did. wrong. And, you know, I'm going to give y'all a story time that happened today. A story that happened today, and this is a prime example of it, right? So with me running my brands, you know, I'm going to be honest with you, not saying quality I cheap out, but like, you know, if you know anything about clothes, you know, you got the Pakistan manufacturers, the China manufacturers. China manufacturers are like 10 times out of 10 probably going to be better than Pakistan manufacturers, right? But boom, you know, I kept going to Pakistan, you know, it was cheaper. Ooh, you know, the quality was good, quality was good, quality was good, right? And, you know, in my mind, I always told myself at a certain a certain aspect of the brand, you're going to have to switch to a China manufacturer. But you know what I did? I did not do that. I was like, oh, the Pakistan manufacturer is doing everything good, woo, right? So boom, boom, we all good, right? And then today, I have this one piece that I really want to make. And, you know, it's a different piece, you know, so I can't expect everybody to, like, really, you know, really, like, do it, right? So, boom, I test my manufacturer, and he says, no, we cannot do it, right? So, boom, he says, no, we cannot do it. So, I'm looking on a new manufacturer, and then I have a choice between a China manufacturer and a Pakistan manufacturer, right? And the China manufacturer was charging, I think, $180 for a sample, and Pakistan was charging $80 for a sample. So, I was like, you know what? I have the money. We're going to try this Pakistan dude out. You know, I paid him the $80, right? And then out of nowhere, he comes text me, oh, we actually can't do your design no more. And, you know, I was really just down on myself because that happened early in the morning, man. That happened like right after I filmed my video that I posted yesterday. So right after I filmed that video, that's when I got the word of that. And, you know, I was just like, man, like, why would you tell me you'll be able to do something if you couldn't, like, come and do it? You know, but that's besides the point. And I was really down on myself this morning, you know. I stayed up to 7 a.m. You know, I filmed that video at 3 a.m., I think. Yeah, 3 a.m., and I stayed up to about 7 a.m. But what I had to realize is this. When I was down on myself, you know what I did? I could have sat in bed, thrilled, went to sleep. But you know what I did? I said, you know what? For the next 30 minutes, we're going to be testing manufacturers, see what I can get done, right? And then eventually I found a manufacturer that can do the piece for me in China. And it's just a little bit more expensive. But, you know, I got the job done. But say if I wouldn't necessarily just quit on that piece, you know, and just quit on the whole thing and waited till the next day, who knows what could have happened? Who knows? I wouldn't have found the right one. But I found the right one, so that's a blessing. And that's just a story time on, like, you know, whenever, because 9 times out of 10, when you think about quitting something, you're down on yourself. But that's how you could transfer that feeling and to be down on yourself into something positive to make you get the goals, you know, the success that you want in whatever you're doing. And just like I was talking about the clothing manufacturer, man, it's like if I just would have quit, if I just would have put my phone down. And I'm gonna be honest with you, at that time I was pondering on quitting that piece because I was just like, bro, I'm already down $80, bro. I don't want nobody playing with my money, playing with my time or anything like that. But I had to just continue to keep doing what I was doing, you know. And when I did that, I found the right person. And I would have never found the right person if I would have quit. So basically the whole moral of this video is you got to know when to quit and know when not to quit. Because, you know, in certain aspects of life, it's good to quit. In certain aspects of life, it's not good to quit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to be honest, you don't want to be one of the people that, you know, you don't quit and then you regret it in the future. But you also don't want to be the people that quit, you know, something today and then regret it in the future. You know what I'm saying? So, with all that being said, that's really all I got for y'all today, man. I really hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you're new here and I, you know, achieve my goal of getting your satisfaction, I hope you drop a subscribe button for me. We're doing 75 hard with 75 straight videos, 75 straight uploads on self-improvement. So by the end of this series, you'll be a new self-improved human and you'll be on the track. You'll be on the track and the right road to achieving your goals. And, you know, I make raw and authentic content. If you couldn't tell, I only do like 2 edits and a quality edit to the video. But besides that, I really like to talk to y'all like I'm really having I'm having hiccups and everything now. But like I'm having a conversation with y'all. Like, you know, I could come on here with the flashy edits and do all this stuff. But at the end of the day, I really just kind of want to have a conversation with y'all for real. So, yeah, that's going to conclude today's video. I really hope y'all enjoyed today's video like I did. But yeah, man, with all that being said, I love y'all. Y'all go pray. Y'all go do some good in the world today. And I'll see y'all folks tomorrow. Bye.